Hi, I'm Kevin,
And I'm Amanda.
and we are serving up
All that jam.
All That Jam, Quick Hit. Scott McMicken on releasing cassettes.
With still that focus on presenting the music in cassette form, which I've always just been so enamored with. That is something that you really seem to kind of gravitate toward. Is there a reason for that? I've done a little bit of reading. Kevin knows that I'm a avid cassette collector,
Oh,
so
really? Nice.
yeah, got so many hundreds and hundreds in the basement that I listen to all the time. But that's just a curiosity for me because I don't see that very often. And I know you have released or are pre-ordering for Shebang on all formats, including cassette again.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, yeah, cassettes I mean they've been there. I'm 44, so like when I grew up, it was cassettes, you know.
Yep.
And then even as I got into like middle school and high school and started like around the house, my siblings had cassettes. Um so, there's like sort of a natural presence of it in my understanding of how to listen to music. And then as I got a little older and started buying my own music, that started out as a cassette thing too. And then by like the late 90s, I was pretty much just buying CDs. But then meanwhile, the musician side of things, like for Toby and I, the other main guy in Dr. Dog, um, when we first started playing music together, which was around eighth grade, like 93 or so, um, within no time, we had a 4-track recorder, cassette recorder that his uncle had given us. And that essentially felt like, and to this day, I still feel like that moment is inseparable from what I've become as a musician because when you are given something, when you're just two kids in a small town and don't know any other musicians, but you're given this little device that will enable you to put sounds into it and then create the sound of a band, it engaged our imaginations so much because just as two kids, there was only so much we could do. But with the 4-track, we could add layer stuff up, bounce it down, layer it up, and we could create what in our imaginations was the sound of our band. And so that outlet, that like janky, low level, modest home recording situation came in hot for me and Toby, and it never went away. And to this day, it's still an obsession. And the cassette is just kind of key to that. And as I've gotten older, I mean, like I said, it came in naturally and found such a strong place. But as I've gotten older, I've only come to appreciate the medium even more, especially like about 3 years ago when my wife and I started our cassette label, Press On Records. Um, that was sort of in a moment in time where we were both like we were both people who had been listening to cassettes our whole life. But something about 3 years ago switched where we realized not only is this just appealing as a mode of listening to music, but in fact, there's more going on here than we even knew. Like we started to get nicer cassette decks and not just rely on whatever thing worked a little bit, and then learn how to service and maintain them. And then I remember when we got the deck we have now, which is this Nakamichi we got from like a used bookstore in Tucson, really high end deck. And then listen to like really beautiful recordings on it, like Billie Holiday or Willie Dixon on Chess Records recordings, or Sinatra, things that were recorded in the finest way. Hearing those recordings on a cassette in a really nice deck just made us both go, this is not just a charming little way to listen to music. This is in our opinion the peak of fidelity, the absolute best fidelity experience that either of us had ever experienced, even with vinyl and having a nice turntable and a nice receiver and stuff. So anyway, as of about 3 years ago, it sort of elevated to a new level where it was no longer just quaint or nostalgic or convenient. It actually was completely viable in a sonic and technological way. And so we started our cassette label, and Yeah, so it's been there the whole time, and it just keeps on getting more interesting.
If you are enjoying All That Jam, please like and subscribe to our social media channels at All That Jam Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or visit our website, allthatjampod.com. Make sure to sign up for our email list and tune in every week for new episodes.
Also, look for full interviews on our YouTube channel. And remember, stay beautiful, but don't stay underground too long.